We'll look at this example to show how we can verify that Python has separate data types for ints and floats. Python has a built-in function named type that you can use to see the type of an expression. The type function is not commonly used in most programs, but it can be used here to see the different data types of expressions. We'll start by printing the type of 3, and then the type of 3.0 to see that they are different data types. Next, we'll assign x to be 3.0 and use the type conversion to make a new object and store it as y. When we print them out, we can see that x is a float and y appears to be an int. We can verify that by printing the types of x and y. Next, we'll assign x to be 3.6 and use the type conversion to make a new object and store it as y. When we print them out, we can see that x is a float and y was converted to an int by dropping the fractional portion. Next, we'll assign x to be 3 and use type conversion to make a new object and store it as y. We can see that x is an int and y is a float. Lastly, we'll use type conversion to convert a string to numeric values. We can see that when we convert a string to an int, it is stored as an int, and when we convert it to a float, it is stored as a float. Let's look at this example from section 3.2 of the book. There are a couple new concepts in this example. First is the use of a main function. We'll learn the details of functions in later videos, but for now we'll see that there is a function named main, and the code for it is indented underneath the def main statement. And then at the bottom of the code, at the leftmost indentation level, is a call to the main function. Defining a function does not cause it to be executed, so without that last line, no code is executed when we run it. With that call to the main function there, it is the first line of code executed when we run the program, and then that call causes it to start executing the body of the main function. The other new concept here is the use of type conversion functions to convert the input string to a number. The use of a val for user input could allow malicious code the user enters to be executed, so instead of using a val, we will now use the preferred conversion functions to convert our input to either an int or a float when we enter numeric values. When we run it, we can see that each entered value is stored as an int, but total is a float because when we multiply an int by a float constant, we get a float. Once we get a float when multiplying 0.25 by the number of quarters, we know total will be a float.